deze. Beta. have to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Yeah, they sound fine now. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being with me. I do appreciate it. Talking about my headset here. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773-888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week, and it's a doozy. Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother? Who or what? You ever think about that? Why do I have the impression, where did it go? Why do I have the impression that I have of my mother and grandma and or grandmother? A lot of people are raised by their grandmothers nowadays. Why do I see them the way I see them? Who or what gave you the... Does it disappear by itself or something? Yeah. Oh. It's traveling, so it disappears. I like the little background up there. Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother? That is the question. Amazing. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, no matter what you're doing, relaxing out and about somewhere, working out anywhere in the world, going over to Ukraine so you can get some media attention, anywhere in the world, fighting with Israel, and Israel fighting with you. Anywhere in the world, you could be listening to the show, out on the battlefield, wherever you might be, by calling the listen line on your iPhone or iPad at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us, JLP Talk on X, JLP Talk on X, and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, buymeacoffee.com. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or go to rebuildingtheman.com or Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. That's my engineer. He's here. Billy. Billy, who or what gave you an impression that you have of your mama? That would be interesting. Come to the mic. While Billy coming to the mic, it is Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached because everything you say about black people and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Ohioans voted to legalize recreational marijuana. So, Jonathan, how are they feeling right now?
Well, Rob, they feel great. They feel relieved. They pointed to studies that show little or no negative effects.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
A racist sign was found near Bellingham High School, and frustrated parents want to know what's happening inside the school.
Stop white hate. Police say 2 residents removed it when they saw it Saturday and brought it here to the police department, concerned about the tone.
I thought that was a good thing.
Many other studies show crime and road safety will be negatively impacted. But nevertheless, the majority of voters have said yes to legalization.
Nadia Muhammad won the election for mayor of St. Louis Park with 58% of the votes. Her family immigrated there when she was just 10 years old, and she has served as a council member since 2020.
So a big win for a abortion rights activist.
What a mess. See, my country's never coming back. They put in all the wrong people. Can you imagine in Ohio? I think they said Ohio. They voted to legalize pot. They did a study, they say, and they found out, oh, no, ain't nothing wrong with legalizing pot. It doesn't matter. Everybody and mama on pot in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and all that, and accidents are happening all over the place. And everybody's out of their mind. Oh, nothing wrong with pot. Let's just legalize it. Bill, my engineer, is here.
Yeah.
And he's normally not here on Fridays, but lately he has been. Friday's his day off.
Yeah.
What, who or what gave you an impression you have of your mother and or grandmother?
Just, I mean, being around them, I got my impression of them.
And what's your impression? You were raised by your mother or grandmother, or both?
More like my grandmother and grandfather.
Oh. And what's your impression you have of your grandmother?
She's all right. You know.
Yeah, all right.
She's all right.
How about your mother?
No, I didn't get along with her. She's the enemy.
So when you were growing up, you saw your mother as the enemy?
I didn't see her as the enemy until until I was in my teens. And then, I don't know, I asked her something at some point, one time, and I was actually trying to help her. I asked her something at some point, and she snapped or something. I don't know. But after that point, she was just my enemy, really.
Ooh.
I didn't see her as being my enemy first. I didn't see how bad it was for a long time. It took me
until she snapped that time.
After that day, yeah, she was my enemy. I mean, I didn't know she was just totally my enemy, but she's my enemy. I didn't know how deep it went. I didn't know she could go that far, you know. But yeah, she's my enemy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you got that impression from her.
I mean,
your impression of her came from her.
I probably had an impression that was supposed to be, you know, everybody talks about how your mom is all this and your mom is all that, you know. Your mom loves you and your mom whatever, you know, that stuff. And I probably got an impression of that, and I probably thought at the time I probably got the short end of the stick when I had my hot mom. But you know, I guess what was going on with her is more regular than I thought, actually, at the time.
Oh, you thought other mother was better than your mother? That you were the only one getting the short end of the stick?
Yeah, but mine was pretty bad. She might have been that short.
Move to your right a little bit.
Huh?
If you can, you can hear.
Yeah. Right.
Move to your right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Is that fine, Sean?
Okay.
Okay, that's good. And so, at the time you thought you were the only one that got the short end, now you realize everybody get it.
Yeah. Yeah. She wasn't. She had like a spiritual thing about her, and she had some other stuff I thought was kind of cool, but everything else, yeah, for the most part. I mean, everybody's not like bad all the way through. I mean,
yes, they are.
I mean, like everything's not toxic about them.
Yes, it is.
Everything's not toxic about it. I mean, they you know, it's something I learned when I was younger is that sometimes just because a person has like just because you have a bad interaction with somebody doesn't mean like somebody else in your family doesn't have, you know, may get along with them fine.
They get along with them because they're afraid of them. So they make sure they don't do anything that would cause them to snap on them.
That could be some people, but not necessarily. I mean,
right.
You know, like I don't think she got along with my grandfather, which was her father. Seemed fine, you know.
But not her mother?
No, she got along great with her mother. They collaborated.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, one of the things I remember is their word didn't mean nothing. They promised you anything or anything like that. I mean, it just meant nothing. Their word to you or their promises to you. What they said they would do meant zero. I had no idea. That made no sense to me, you know, because I remember that just making no sense to me at all, you know.
Amazing.
Yeah. I mean.
All right.
What do you want to know about it?
Let me ask you this.
All right.
And I want to ask Hake, too. I plan to surprise my other experts about it, too. Hake is here of the Hake Report and an expert on the show as well. Today they're celebrating Veteran Day. Tomorrow is the actual, I guess, day for the veteran, but Saturday, but they're celebrating today.
Right.
What do you think about Veteran Day?
I mean, we celebrate Veterans Day because, you know, veterans have fought in the wars and all the wars, you know, the wars that made the country. And I think that's it. I mean,
That's it.
I mean, why not? Any problem with having a Veterans Day? I don't get why. Shouldn't there be a Veterans Day? If there's anything else, I mean.
Do you recognize Veterans Day?
Yeah, I recognize Veterans Day.
And why?
I mean, because my grandfather's was in World War II. My great grandfather was, you know, grandfathers were in World War I, and that stuff's been going all the way back to the founding of this country.
Oh. Do you recognize Veterans Day, James?
Yeah, I recognize it. I recognize all the phony made-up stuff, which I'm not saying that Veterans Day is entirely phony and made up, but today it's more seemingly perhaps more phony and made up than ever. You looking at my shirt?
Yeah. United the races is true. Nice shirt.
Yeah, it's an old design, out of print. So jump on any new T-shirt that you see. It may not last long.
He should move to his right a little bit more again.
Yeah, because now we have the three panel screen, so you're off in the corner.
Great.
It just means that
You're like, oh, great. That's too much work to have to keep moving.
yeah, that was better. That's a lot better. I know how you feel. That's how I feel inwardly too. But I just keep a smile on my face and positive fake brightness in my voice.
Oh, you're getting hot in here.
Yeah, so I think Veterans Day is more meaningless today than it ever has been, my opinion.
In what way?
In that everybody's a veteran now. Even the illegal alien criminal gang members are veterans now.
What do you
They
mean?
joined the military to get training on weapons so they can go use their weapons for the cartels or whatever, or the gangs. So and they also joined the military to get perks. Obama put the LGBTs in the military.
And the women in the
Ask
dancing?
and tell and celebrate. And and yes, Bill mentioned all the wars. I'm not sure some of those wars. I'm not sure I endorse some of those wars that we participated in. They were destructive to the country, the people anyway.
You endorse some of the war bill that your little grandfather and great-grandfather, great-father was involved in?
I'm not blaming the veterans for the wars.
I know, but I mean, but this was, I think, like, which wars are you talking? Like you're talking about these modern wars for the most part, right?
For sure, big time. But
I
also
know,
like
I know
world
what you mean.
wars. Maybe the Civil War. I'm not a fan of that thing.
Okay.
The so-called Civil War.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of the Civil War?
So. I mean, I don't know enough to talk about it. You know what I mean? I'm not up on all the history with the Civil War.
Oh.
But World War One and
he's
Two.
got a problem with Abraham Lincoln and his actions. Basically.
He does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nick says some call those wars the greatest lunacy the white civilization ever imagined.
Yeah, like World War II and World War One. Those.
The greatest lunacy.
The result. Look at the
Is that
results.
true?
It's.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it definitely started with some lunacy. I mean,
yeah,
the lunacy from World War One went on to create World War II, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that this lunacy from World War II brought about a whole lot of mess too. I think
Nick,
good and
come
evil.
here.
I think good and evil can come from anything that's happening. But a whole lot of people used a whole lot of these
said
things
a
for
lot
evil.
here about it. Yeah. Did you call me in? Yeah, you're saying a lot about it. Nick is the Anchor Baby host. On Fridays at 4 p.m., Monday through Thursday at 12. The American Anchor Baby.
Thanks. My bad. I was typing all up in that chat.
Yeah, you said a lot about the war.
blah, blah, blah.
You're like a war of brothers, European Civil War. It
Yeah,
dealt
that's
with
what some
killing
call it.
blows to all of them. Germany, France, Italy, shallow now.
Yeah, all those. These were even. I'm leaving out the biggest one of them all. Britain, England. They were the leaders of the world. They say the world wars, especially the second one, were her killing blow. The empire really ended after that.
Dang.
After the first one, sorry. And that they called it a war between brothers, between the lunacy of the white races, the European nations fighting each other, and they're shadows now, vestiges of what they were.
Yeah,
Man.
I know.
So are you celebrating the war, the Veterans Day today?
Huh? Sure.
If you
I
can
like war. War's pretty cool.
Yeah, he said war is cool.
Hassan, are you the audio engineer, another expert here. Are you celebrating veterans today?
I am. I love all vets. I took Sandy to a vet yesterday, and
that's veterinarian.
but all seriousness, I do think that it is a shame that we celebrate this day, but we have so many vets that are on the street, homeless, and no one cares about them, and we're giving all this money to other countries. So, but it's kind of a shame.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel the same way? Well, Hassan just said it's a shame we celebrate it when they treat the veterans the way they treat them, and
I don't know. I mean, I think they've always. Well, I think the Veterans Administration and some of that stuff is just is not run well. But government stuff is not run well. Period.
Right. Never.
Never.
I was talking to
Actually.
a veteran yesterday, an older guy, and he'd been to all those wars. His whole body's kind of torn down and rebuilt with iron and steel and everything.
Yes.
And I asked him, did the VA treat him well? He's like, no. They treat you like S, he said.
SH?
Uh-huh.
Dang.
And he got all kind of steel. His body been was almost blown away, and now they had to sew him up, over there, but they don't take care of him over here.
Yeah, I had an uncle who passed away while he was waiting. He was, I guess, a Vietnam veteran, and he passed away while he was waiting for some treatment, because he was sick for something with the VA. So
wow. So he never got help from the VA.
No, I mean, I guess he was because you have to wait a while before you can come down,
Right.
And yeah, while he was waiting, he passed away. Yeah.
Hassan's cracking up over here.
Huh?
Hassan's cracking up over here.
Why?
No.
Because he has a sick sense of humor. Like
Death
God.
and destruction.
No, it's making me think of this. You ever see the movie 4th of July with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's making me think about the conversation you had with the gentleman, because it's all these people that love the country and go in as patriots, and then they come out and they start to have this, resentment to the country and all this stuff because, anyway. But
I wonder what veterans think about this conversation.
I know. Half the guys I've talked to recently have been veterans.
And what would they think
On my
about
show.
this conversation we're having right here?
I think they would agree with a lot of it. Some of them might not. I don't know. Depends if they're transgender veterans or if they're
transgender veteran, no such thing.
You don't know.
Well, now there is.
How can you be
Or
a
ex-transgender.
veteran?
There's ex-transgender veteran,
That
right?
don't even go together.
I would tell Vietnamese vets I know what Vietnamese people smell like too, so it's all good.
What?
This sounds like an inside joke.
They say that they could smell them in those tunnels when you fought them.
Oh, dang.
Oh, Agent Orange.
When the American commandos fought the Vietnamese,
You could
they
smell?
say that the American commandos would say they would smell them before they would see them.
Because of the food they ate made them
I
pungent?
imagine a couple of things.
That feels racist.
That's a fact. That's
which
a
means
fact.
true.
I don't know. Maybe racist is a fact then.
That feels racist.
Smells like
What does feeling of racist feel like?
No, I'm just kidding. I think the vets would say that that we've lost sight of that we're all we're all on the same side. Like regardless if you're Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, it's like we're still Americans, and we've lost sight of that, I think.
It's kind of like the flat earthers and the ball-tards who are both Christians fighting and hating each other, being suspicious of each other, being government agents.
I'm surprised to hear you guys say all this because I thought maybe I was the only one thinking this way. When I heard this morning, when James mentioned it yesterday, excuse me, that today was Veterans Day, and so I thought about it. I was like, well, we're going to mention it on the show. But when I was thinking about it this morning, I was thinking, what is it that we're celebrating? Because the government, not only do they not care about the veterans, they don't care about America. And I would think, like Hassan mentioned, they giving money to Ukraine. Right now, they giving money to everybody, all our countries and everywhere. And they're not only and they're sending our veterans, the military people, over to those countries to protect them, and they're not doing anything. They don't put veterans on the borders here. I mean, the military people on the border here. They put white people out of the military, the strong, knowledgeable people out of the military, bringing women and the gay people and the drag queens and the blacks and all unqualified people. And then they have people running our military who are totally unqualified. I don't know what it is that we can appreciate today. I was surprised to hear y'all say that. I didn't think.
Well, it wasn't like this in the past.
What?
It wasn't like this until until Obama got elected.
It might have been going on before.
No.
Before, because think about for decades, we've been involved in these.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, I'm just talking about the other part of what he's talking about. You're talking about stuff like Vietnam and all this, but
yeah,
even
and
Vietnam,
the border's been out of control since I don't know how long.
They won't even put
since
Obama.
Before Reagan.
Yeah.
No, it was
Ronald Reagan.
Reagan had to do an amnesty in order to get the.
Ronald Reagan started all this mess.
No, he inherited
gave the first amnesty.
Oh dang!
I know, but you think Jimmy Carter was not letting the illegals in? The illegals were coming in.
I know, but Ronald Reagan started the amnesty thing.
He did it in exchange for border security.
I don't care why he did it, but he did it.
But you can't say that he started it.
We ain't got no border security.
It predates Reagan.
To who?
To America.
What?
The illegals been coming in since before Reagan.
But Reagan gave amnesty.
I know that. But you said he started it.
He started the amnesty thing.
As far back as I've gone.
No, he
right.
Yeah. So.
He regretted getting suckered into that deal.
I don't care what he regretted. He did it.
But you said that he started it. That's false.
The amnesty?
There was a de facto amnesty prior to Reagan.
I'm talking about the real amnesty.
No, de facto is real.
I don't know what that means.
De facto, we have de facto affirmative action in California, where people are allowed into, are given favorable treatment for their race and their gender, even though it's illegal. It's not on the books in California, but they do it because it's in the culture. The same way.
Y'all just killed the thrill of Veterans Day today. Thank you.
You didn't want any thrill with Veterans Day?
Y'all turned Veterans Day into another funeral. Talk about radicals.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is.
And then once you start to realize, the same places that we're sending the money to are the same people that we're fighting the wars for, it starts to build all this divide, and it's a mess.
Absolutely, man. Bill, last word. Is war ever justified?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, they come to get you, or they come to take you over. They come to take all your stuff. Well, you got to do something about it.
I remember seeing those women in our military dancing on the videos. And then we did a show to soundbite with young people, girls and boys going to the war. But they only going there to get free stuff, they said. Free living, free education, free money, free
Yeah, they
food.
make it enticing.
They're going for free food and everything. It wasn't for the fight for the country.
Well, that's just...
And then all the real military men, white men, being thrown out.
They're going to need them soon.
If ever they need them, they need them now. Thank you, guys. I got to take a break. Thank you. Within yourself or outside of self, you got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. and you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. Stuck on you, I got a feeling deep down in my soul, I just can't lose. I'm on my way. Okay, folks, welcome back. 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. At 9 o'clock this morning, from 9 to 11, the Hake report. From 9 to 11 today, and every day, Monday through Friday, thehakereport.com. You don't want to miss it. And at 12 noon today, a brand new episode of thefallenstate.tv. Thefallenstate.tv. A very, very, very interesting discussion with Aaron Edwards. And Aaron is a Christian academic theologian. He's a writer and preacher from the UK. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
I put a tweet out saying homosexuality is invading the church because if sin is no longer sin, we no longer need a savior. Then I got suspended immediately.
Wow. Segregation was not a bad thing. It was based on character and not the color of the person. You can't force someone to love you, right?
So does it lead to liberation? It hasn't. It's led to a horrendous societal situation.
The real sin is of the heart. Anyone that has anger is sinning.
Testify, brother. Love it. Yeah, that's it.
It was very, very interesting. And at 12 noon Pacific time, and remember, you can support The Fallen State at thefallenstate.tv/donate and also on locals.com. And at 4 p.m. Pacific time, the American Anchor Baby. And the American Anchor Baby is going to be flying high. Not off pot, not off fentanyl, but off the natural energy of God, given to him by God. You don't want to miss it. The American Anchor Baby today at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Daylight saving time. No, what?
Pacific Standard Time.
Whatever.
Daylight saving time is over.
Pacific
Standard Time.
Standard time. Oh, that mess. So you're here for the Super Chats, right?
Indeed.
Super Chats. Super
Chats.
These are from yesterday. Mr. Pink bought a coffee to answer the biblical question.
Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother? Who or what?
Mr. Pink says, I specifically remember after my parents' divorce when I was 3 that my mom used to tell me about how my dad and her would argue and that he whooped her one time with a coat hanger and how they went to court and my dad got custody in the divorce because my dad's parents were more financially stable. I remember thinking to myself then, well, that's probably because you were crazy and all of those things sound fine to me. So glad my dad got custody, or I would have probably ended up a total mess. John 16:28, I came forth from the Father and am come into the world again. Again I leave the world and go to the Father.
Amazing. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nangiti, not from Africa, bought you a coffee. My answer to the biblical question.
Who or what gave you the impression of your mother and or grandmother?
The idea was given to me by my earthly father. Instead of helping me out of my imagination when I started acting up with my mom after she took me away from him as a child, he would say, "Yes, but that's your mom. That's just the way she is." My mom would say the same about my grandmother. "That's just the way she is."
It's amazing the number of people in the world who has a serious issue with their mothers or grandmothers, and that has not been dealt with in this world. It's just been blamed on the father, while the mothers, generation after generations after generations, have been allowed to cause so much destruction. What a mess. Thank you.
Also from Nangiti Aviankoe, buying a coffee, doing the silent prayer, I can see more clearly that in the fallen state we were/are, we all believe the wrong father, quote unquote. The voice in our heads giving us false ideas about people and things. We are of light and guided from above, and seeing through those lenses, every living thing is being loved without judgment or label.
Amazing. Thank you. Oh, amazing. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
This is a letter sent by email. Hello, Jesse. I really like your content and appreciate your work. I recently watched a few of your videos about forgiveness and how it will set you free. You specifically mentioned forgiving our mothers, but what about other people? Like, I think there are a lot of people who has done me wrong. Do I have to go to each and every one of them and tell them I forgive them? Jesse, another thing I'm wondering about is when I forgive my father, how do I return back to him? Because you said you were supposed to forgive your father and return back to him. I don't really understand what you mean by returning back to him. I'm an adult, and it's not like I can become a child again and spend time with him. I mean, I don't know how to return back and spend time with him. He is also not the type to do these things with. I don't even think I want that. I want to forgive him once and for all and move on with my life, honestly, because I don't want to be hurt again over and over again. I'm afraid of getting hurt again and the same hate and resentment being created once again. Hope you understand what I mean. Thank you for reading this. Jesse, best regards.
Amazing. Returning to your father means don't resent him. Forgive him for not being able to protect you from your mother. Because it was either your mother or grandmother who turned you away from your father by causing you to become angry. And you've been wandering in the wilderness of your imagination and emotions and thinking that it was you, identify with it. And because when you were turned away from your earthly father by being angry at him, you were turned away from God. And so to turn back is to forgive your mother for turning you away from your father and forgive your earthly father for not being able to protect you because he didn't know his mother did it to him too. Both parents did the best they could. They were both blind and could not see. And so when you forgive your earthly father through him, you return to God. And it doesn't mean you got to hang out with him at all. You're now in control. If you want to hang out, fine. If you don't, fine. If you want to go visit or call mama, hang out, you can. But no, there's no guilt about it because you have returned to your spiritual father through your earthly father by forgiving him. So it doesn't mean you got to do anything other than that. And what was the first question up there?
Do I have to go to each and every one of the people who've done me wrong?
No, you do not. Because once you forgive your mother, you're going to wake up and you're going to start to understand that everything that else has happened in your life through other people or even through you was never them or you. That you'll see that something else was driving you, and it will cause you to see that that same something else was driving others, and there's nothing to forgive because you're not holding anything against them. You finally understand, and understanding will cause you not to resent anyone else when you forgive your parents. So you don't have to go around to everybody. Just keep your eyes on yourself so that the light can cause you to overcome the abnormal nature, which is of the devil, all your vices and everything that you picked up because your nature is of the devil. And the light will destroy that, and you will be all the way into the kingdom, and you'll be fine. You do not have to run around and forgive everybody, just your parents. Thank you.
Andrew bought 7 coffees. Hey, Jesse and crew, thanks for everything you guys do. And I got to say, the silent prayer is amazing. I want to share this video posted by the Great White Hope, and he shares a Truth Social Trump post. Never give up. Anyways, I wish you guys well, and God bless.
Thank you. I also want to add to that, never, 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 but ever, never, 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 ever give up on you. Because nobody else is going to do it for you. You're, as an adult, you're responsible for you. As kids, our parents were responsible for us, but you are responsible for you. All right? So stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. It's amazing. And stay with the prayer, the silent prayer. rebuildingaman.com/prayer. All right? Or silentprayer.video. Stay with it. I'm telling you, I don't care who turned against you or who what. Don't rely on anyone else but the prayer. And you'll be fine. Thank you.
Rocky the Mexican says, hey, Jesse, he black. Question, what is your favorite Bible verse and why? Thanks, team. Smiley, contented face emoji.
I don't know if I had a favorite one, but I can tell you, forgive and you shall be forgiven. It's the deepest one. Forgive because that's the beginning of freedom for you, the individual. Thank you.
He didn't ask me.
I don't blame him.
Ravender bought 3 coffees. Nicholas's anchor is Jesse with a J. Nicholas, and he spells it with an H, so I'm not sure if he means the anchor, baby. He keeps him at bay. Be there to show the way when he does not know what to say. Thank you for the poem, Ravender, with 3 coffees.
Thank you. Though I don't quite understand the poem, but thank you.
I think you calmed Nick down.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Danny Moore bought a coffee. All right, Jesse and lads. Why, after my 8-year-old son has a meltdown and I bear hug him until he calms down, I start to feel tears forming? Beta! Is that the devil in me making the tears come? Or is it because I'm seeing my son possessed and that's making me bring the tears on? I don't want them to come, but I can't stop them. But I don't want my boy to see his old man cry. What a beta! Laughing face with tears coming out emoji.
I don't know why you're doing all that, but okay. Thank you.
Prepham Paul. Good morning, Rumblers.
You got to know how to rumble. Indeed.
Over on Buy Me a Coffee. Here, hi, Bill. Here's a coffee. Grinning face emoji, says Zorak90. With a coffee for Bill.
For Bill the engineer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Someone bought a coffee. It's interesting that Jesse says that black people can't make anything work, but the minute he has a technical issues in his studio, he says, call Bill. Amazing.
But Bill is half white and black. And so his white side is the one that's doing the work.
Nice. Evil is real bought a coffee. Bill is an, quote unquote, engineer. Glad to see him on the show. We need his clear and unambiguous view on flat Earth. If he believes in it, fire him, and I will help you with your unemployment hearing.
Amazing. Does Bill believe in that flat Earth?
No, he's a ball-tard.
What's a ball-tard?
Somebody who knows that the Earth is a ball.
Oh, a ball-tard. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Fascist Freddy over on Odyssey,
Odyssey.com. You're Odyssey.
Jesse, you're my favorite black man. Jesse, who is your favorite white man?
I'm glad you asked.
ISIS has spread like cancer. Another mess I inherited.
The Great White Hope. Nice.
Right on. And thank you, guys. That's all for now.
Amazing. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Amazing.
Oh, you just got several more, but that's okay. We can...
Go ahead.
All right. The Key bought 5 coffees. Solution to illegal immigration. The United States should expand our territory south in all the territories we're receiving mass migration from, Venezuela, South America, Guatemala, etc. Since we are taking care of all their people anyway, we might as well possess their land and allow their people to dwell safely in their native land. What are your thoughts?
I just think we need to take care of home first. Put a wall around our borders, put our military on our borders, and let those other people take care of themselves.
Yeah, because demographics is destiny. You don't want them to be the voting population in the country.
That's right. So I just think we need to take care of home. It's weird that they're sending our military over to other countries, our money over there, and doing absolutely nothing for this. Zero. Except working overtime to make it even worse. That's mind-blowing to me. Thank you.
Mike Young bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse, I believe that compassion is very overrated because, Jesse, do you believe that compassion has nothing to do with God's love? Because people have used compassion to control and manipulate.
Compassion only means to have a clear understanding about truth. Human nature, the truth. It's just an understanding. Thank you.
So that's not what compassionate conservative George W. Bush meant by compassion. He wasn't talking about clear understanding of human nature and the truth, though.
I don't know about him.
He's talked about being a compassionate conservative.
What does that mean?
Let the illegals in, be anti-racist,
And
stuff like that.
Where's he now?
He's hanging around being a lame-o, former president.
Amazing. I rest my case.
Evil is real, bought a coffee. Jesse, at no point in your entire life was the law of the land that if you had a baby in America, you became a citizen. Never. Just flat out wrong. Even if you have a child that is a citizen, the child can petition you to get a green card, and then you need to live in the U.S. with a permanent resident status for a period of time before a mother can become a citizen. I'm not your employee, so I have no problem telling you that you are 100% wrong and do not know what you are talking about. Love you, Pookie.
What was that about? Repeat that. I was reading something. I didn't even hear it.
Okay. It was about the mothers of anchor babies are never citizens.
And just the anchor baby by itself?
Yeah, the anchor baby is considered a citizen by the corrupt
But then
thing.
why were they saying that the women would jump across the border and have a baby so that they can become a citizen?
The baby would be a citizen. They wouldn't. They would
But
have
they said the mother would be able to stay too?
The mother may be able to stay as like a permanent resident or a green
What's
card.
What's different?
But that doesn't mean that they're a citizen.
Why not? They can stay. They can vote. They do everything that everybody else is doing.
They're not supposed to be able to vote.
But they do.
How do you know?
I know them.
Irregardless.
But thank you. I don't know what you're referring to, but thank you.
And plus, I resent this underhanded notion that just because we're employees, we can't tell him that he's wrong. We tell him that he's wrong.
That's a vicious person.
And then he also said, love you, Pookie, which sounds like a dig at somebody else, but nice. Thank you. He called him vicious.
They end up getting naturalized.
A lot of times. They become naturalized, but not by way of having the baby.
I don't care what tie you put on, they become a citizen. That's why they jump across the border to have the baby.
JLP called you vicious, evil is real. Somebody called him vicious yesterday.
Who?
Or vindictive.
Call who that?
A flat earth Texan called him vindictive.
So why would he throw in undertones like that? That's not love. They're not trying to help you.
It's sarcasm, maybe.
Oh, he's playing?
Could be. He might just be playing.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, you ain't vicious then. Okay.
Nice. And thank you. Now that's all for now.
Thank you all. Amazing. Let me go quickly to the phones. There is one line open, 888-7753-773. Austin out of North Carolina. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Austin.
I say there is a time for war.
And when is that time?
When you're being attacked and you're on defense.
Have we ever been attacked here in America?
Yes, by the British, the Revolutionary War.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, we benefited from winning that war. Or if
I remember
we didn't,
that.
we'd be under Britain's thumb if we didn't.
And would that be a bad thing?
I think so.
Would it be worse than it is today being under American government thumb?
I don't know, but I know we never would have experienced freedom. Maybe it's not that way anymore, but we at least got a taste of it.
Yeah. Are they free over in Great Britain now? Are the people over there enslaved, or are they free?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Are you a veteran?
But no.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
But one thing about that war is we stayed on the defense. We didn't go invading into Britain's territory. We kept it here. And I think that's when it's the right time to do it, is if you're going to stay on defense. And I think that's the reason why the South probably lost the Confederacy, because I think they should have kept it here instead of invading D.C. or whatever. I think if they'd have kept it here, we might would have won that.
And so, Austin, are you celebrating Veterans Day today?
No, I'm working.
No, I mean, like, are you recognizing it at all?
Not really, because if the Revolutionary veterans were still alive, I would. But that's the only war I see that was any good.
Amazing. And so did you hear the conversation earlier about why these guys are not recognizing it? Because in essence, it's not really serving America at all now?
Yeah, I heard that.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I agree with it.
That's amazing. I never thought there would come a day when I would hear Americans saying that they are not recognizing Veterans Day because it's clear now that our own military does not protect us at all. That's mind-blowing.
Yeah, and we get into other people's business. We shouldn't be over there.
And then they throw out the deserving men who have earned their way. They work hard, they study, they know the rule, and they put in affirmative action black men and women who has no clue as to what they're doing. And the drag queens and all those people, the women, it's like a joke. It's not even, our military is not even serious anymore.
Yeah.
Amazing. Austin, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. When I come back, we're going to move some calls here. It is Open Line Friday, 888-7753-773. Get it off your chest day. There is a line open now if you want to jump in there. Hake is coming in with the hate news. Not the fake news, but the hate news. And I'll be back in a moment. 2 more hours to go. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't wanna be angry. You wanna speak up, you wanna disagree with what's going on, it's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear, you won't have doubt, you won't have worries, you'll be able to see, but you gotta stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
Whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. There is one line open. You can call in right now to get on hold, to get on air with JLP, and he will get to your calls. But first, Hake news, not fake news. Israel-Palestine war. Daily pauses to save the babies. Israeli forces have intensified their ground and air campaign, according to commie nonsense network CNN. On Gaza in recent days, with officials claiming to have reached the heart of the besieged enclave's main city. This comes as Israel has agreed to daily pauses of military operations, 4-hour pauses each day in parts of northern Gaza, so said the Black on the Inside White House of America, allowing people to travel for aid and relief. On Thursday alone, around 80,000 people fled northern Gaza through an evacuation corridor. So said an Israeli official, compared with 50,000 people Wednesday. CNN cannot independently verify the figures, although they're not independent at all. Images on the ground show streams of people, men, women, children, the elderly, and so-called disabled, meaning handicapped, traveling miles on foot through the battered region. Isn't that nice? Joe Manchin, the only pro-life Democrat, is gonna be out of there. Commie Nonsense Network CNN reports Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia will not run for re-election in 2024, potentially threatening Democrats' their chances of holding to control of the Senate. The so-called moderate Democrat, if there is such a thing, made the announcement on social media Thursday, calling it one of the toughest decisions of his life. The Democrat caucus controls the chamber with a narrow 51-49 margin. Manchin's decision not to run again in such a deeply red state of West Virginia puts demon rats in a tough spot as they'll be defending seats in other competitive states. Manchin has not specifically said what he plans to do after leaving Capitol Hill. He has stoked speculation of a third-party presidential bid. Oh, Lord, don't do that. He said he'll be traveling the country, according to the ladies at the Skim, to gauge interest in an effort to mobilize the middle. Lord, it's nice. We'll see what happens. Forced vaccination exceptions. The number of exemptions, according to the far-left Commie Nonsense Network, for required vaccines for kindergartners has reached a record high. New CDC data shows around 250,000 kindergartners are at risk for measles infection, supposedly as a result of declining MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, rubella, which targets those three diseases. About 4% of kindergartners nationwide were not fully vaxxed with the measles, mumps, rubella, MMR, or formally exempt from getting it, but were allowed to attend school during a grace period. All states have laws requiring specific vaccines for students, and all immunization laws grant exemptions to children for specific medical reasons. But 44 states and Washington, D.C. also grant religious exemptions. 15 states allow philosophical or moral exceptions for children. Non-medical exemptions accounted for more than 90% of reported exemptions. So it's said the evil CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. There's some decent people there, maybe, right? Some more headlines from the Skim. Surgeons at NYU Langone Health announced they'd performed the world's first ever transplant of an entire human eye. In addition to a partial face transplant. Too soon to tell if the patient will regain sight. Surgery is being hailed as a huge step forward, though. And the pioneering, punchy feminist website Jezebel. You guys remember Jezebel, that website? It shut down yesterday after parent company GO Media failed to sell it. Guess feminism just doesn't sell, huh? Well, not that kind of feminism. Also coming to a close is controversial video site Omegle, O-M-E-G-L-E, after 14 years. The website recently settled a lawsuit alleging that they connected a 11-year-old girl with a sexual abuser per NBC. Founder Leif K. Brooks announced the closure Wednesday in a lengthy statement posted to the website. Touched on what he saw as positives for the platform, but also some drawbacks because they had struggles with child predators on their website. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week. The biblical question, and it is a doozy. Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother? Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother or grandmother? That's, want me to move to my right? Amazing. And we have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. You can also listen to the show anywhere in the world on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on cozy.tv/JLP, cozy.tv/JLP, and Rumble. You gotta know how to rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Like, follow, subscribe, share, and all that. And what else? To donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP talk. RebuildingTheMan.com. You can make donations there and everything. Also, you can make donations to the nonprofit RebuildingTheMan.com. We got so much going on, folks, and thank you for that. You can call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663, or go to RebuildingTheMan.com. It's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached because everything you say about black people and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Ohioans voted to legalize recreational marijuana. So, Jonathan, how are they feeling right now?
Well, Rob, they feel great. They feel relieved. They pointed to studies that show little or no negative effects.
This is fine.
Right.
I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
A racist sign was found near Bellingham High School, and frustrated parents want to know what's happening inside the school.
Stop white hate. Police say 2 residents removed it when they saw it Saturday and brought it here to the police department, concerned about the tone.
I thought that was a good thing.
Many other studies show crime and road safety will be negatively impacted. But nevertheless, the majority of voters have said yes to legalization.
Nadia Mohammed won the election for mayor St. Louis Park with 58% of the votes. Her family immigrated there when she was just 10 years old, and she has served as a council member since 2020.
So a big win for a abortion rights activist.
Amazing. That's an amazing opening by the Anchor Baby put all that together. Can you believe they elected another Muslim over there in Minnesota? and a female, you get the kind of government you deserve. They're letting these foreigners come to our country and run for office and become part of our government. What do you think you're going to get? These people come from S-hole countries, and they bring those S-hole ideas here. What do you think that's going to happen? They couldn't even run their own countries. What is wrong with you people? Amazing. Let me go to a first-time caller, Miriam, out of New York. Miriam, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, how are you?
All is well, Miriam.
I'm glad to hear. I love your show, and I was calling in to ask.
Ask.
Ask. I was calling in to ask about how to overcome trauma and anger after years long battle of I'm so nervous. I'm sorry.
You nervous?
Yeah, 8 years.
All right, let's do this for 1 minute. Take a deep breath.
Okay.
And just calm down, let the thoughts pass, and then talk.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
So, yes, I wanted to know how do I go about helping myself and my family overcome the trauma of a legal battle that had them legally kidnapped and then discarded.
And how do you overcome that trauma, you say?
Yes, because I'm not in a position where I can actually forgive my mother, because it's not like the typical situation. Not a typical situation.
And why can't you forgive her, no matter what the situation is?
Because more likely it will put my children in legal trouble.
If you forgave your mother?
I don't think, I don't think it's going to make a difference.
It'll make a difference in your life.
Yeah. I forgave her, overall, but at the same time, I know that you would advise more to do it in person and all that, but it's not safe. So
can you do it on FaceTime?
No.
Okay. And you can't call her either, right?
Yeah, but she always ends up taking over the conversation. So,
but
I'm not really.
Okay, here's what.
And she has to always get the last word and all this, so it's going to put my kids in problems.
And so she has your kids?
No, she tried to take them many times as a way of trying to get me back in her home. But,
What an evil woman.
Yeah.
So, Miriam, I promise you this, that the way you overcome all traumas, and it doesn't matter what the situation is, it doesn't matter what happened or what the situation is, if you forgive, meaning that you don't be angry at the person or people, you will overcome all traumas and you will have perfect peace and you will see how to deal with all situations. And so if you call your mother up and say, you know what, I'm sorry for resenting you, I now understand. Because your mother, whatever she's done, she is possessed in the mind and emotions by evil. Her nature is that of the devil. And it made her do the things she has done. And as a result of you being angry at her, your nature is that of the devil, your mind and your emotions. And the devil is controlling you, in the same way it's controlling her. And so if you understand that about you and you will see that you can't help yourself, you will understand that she can help herself, and you will apologize for resenting her. It doesn't mean you think what she did was right. It doesn't mean you got to hang out with her. It doesn't mean you should move in with her. But by admitting that you are wrong for resenting her, God will forgive you, and he will give you perfect peace.
Yes, because I also lost my my sister behind it because basically what happened is the reason why they had tried so hard to do this is because they were trying to cover up my molestation with my sister's husband. So they were trying to do like a switcheroo to mess up my name and my children and stuff.
Amazing.
So,
well, you still forgive them, meaning that I'm sorry for resenting you, and you will go free, and then you will see how to raise your children and whatever else in your life. Because as long as you have unforgiveness on your heart, you're going to always have a hard life. And so if you were to, because you're not going to be able to see clearly, but if you were to, even when you call your mother, if she tried to dominate the conversation, it doesn't matter. Just say, you know what, I just want you to know I'm sorry for resenting you for what you've done. And you don't need her to apologize. You don't need her to listen. You don't need her to admit anything. Don't ask her for forgiveness. You forgive her, and God will forgive you. And the real Miriam, because you're not your thought, you're not your body, you're not the emotions, the real you will be free, and it'll be amazing.
Yeah, because I would like to move. I would like to relocate and everything.
You'll be able to do all those things. But you got to work on yourself first by letting go of anger.
Yeah, it's true.
How many children do you have?
3.
And how old are they?
17, 13, and 8.
Oh, okay. And where's your husband?
We're no longer.
Does he help you with them?
No, that's one of the things that he has to stay away from them, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm telling you, if you work on you by forgiving or hold nothing against anyone, if you hold nothing against anyone, you will be free, and all things will be provided for you. You'll be able to see clearly where to go, what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and everything. And you'll be able to move on and forget about those people, your mother, your husband, whomever, and let them stay in the hell that they're in, but you'll be experiencing heaven right here on earth.
Yeah, because this situation, I'm not really mad at them anymore because it's been a long time, but I'm glad I was able to at least talk about it with release it, because the feedback that I usually get is that or the judgment that I get is because I don't really go into detail about it, people think it's very textbook, and they think that it's just my fault because of what the situation is, and that's what makes me resentful.
Yeah.
Because the situation was set up so that it can look like it's me, but it comes a point in where legalities can tear a family apart. It's not always the mother. And if you're blindsided, there's such a thing as narcissistic abuse. And a lot of people are not aware of these things. They think it's just this caused this to happen, and so this is the result. And it's not always the case. There are always deeper issues, and there's always darker forces in play. And a lot of people are not aware of invisible forms of abuse. They think it's just battery between a man and a woman. My husband didn't do anything wrong. He was caught up in the middle of it as well. So, yeah.
Amazing.
Like
What?
it turned us on each other, but he didn't do anything wrong.
Amazing.
You understand? So,
Well, what I highly, you got to give people the finger because human beings are evil. All human beings are evil until they overcome anger. And you cannot trust human beings at all because any person that has anger would turn on you. I don't care who it is, right? And your only job is not to resent them because they know not what they do. They don't realize that they're being controlled. Some people do, but most people don't realize they're being controlled by evil. And so the people who accuse your husband and you and all them, they were of evil. And those who don't understand, you don't need to tell them all your business. It's not their business anyway. And they want to know all the details because they love the thrill of hearing other people pain.
Yeah.
And you're doing the right thing by not telling them. Don't feed into their evil. And you just work on you. You forgive, meaning just don't be angry at them. It doesn't mean you got to hang out. Don't tell them your business. You move on with your life. But you got to drop the anger so you can be free.
yes, definitely. Because I do feel like subtlenesses of it. Like even though I feel like I'm not angry anymore because it would be too much of a burden to carry. I feel like there is a spirit of some kind of anger there because I'm like there was a time where I was more free spirited, more lighthearted, and I've lost like that bright personality I had. Like, you know, I was young when the situation happened, so it's like it literally wiped the smile off my face. Like, I'm not like as playful as I used to be. So.
Well, that smile will come back because whatever happened to your physical body, it didn't happen to you. You are not your physical body. You are a spirit, right? And so it never happened to you, but because you were identifying with the body, you became angry about the attacks and everything that happened. And you think that is you that is feeling the stress, feeling the worry, feeling the anxiety. It's really not you at all. And that's another reason that you must forgive so that the fake you, the not you, which are the thoughts and the feelings in the body, the thoughts and the feelings will disappear. It'll be taken away from you because it's the nature of the devil. And your smile will come back because when that false you disappear, the real you will appear. And you're going to realize nothing ever happened to you. It was to the body, and you're not your body.
Yes. And it's like I'm not even holding grudges because I have called, even though I moved away from her and everything like that. I don't want to go back to her home or anything.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that you can like get order protections on people without them knowing. So one day when I went to go get my stuff, like police showed up and then they asked me and I was like, me? And they were like, don't you have an order of protection? I was like, no, I don't have an order of protection. I'm here to get my stuff. And they were like, somebody put an order of protection on somebody. And then she was like creeped out of the whole, and she was like, it's me. And they're looking at her like, she don't know she has the order of protection on her? Like, because I'm just standing there like, I just want to get my stuff. Like, it's just so weird.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's just evil stuff happening. That's why you got to stop fighting with the devil. Don't fight with the devil inside your mind, and don't fight mind and emotions, and don't fight with the devil outside of you, inside of others. Lay your weapon down and live your life. And God, the Spirit of the Father, will fight your battles for you because it's all spiritual. It's not physical at all.
Yes, and I feel like upset that she won't allow me to just like come to like a clear understanding, forgive her, and move on. Like she just keep on like creating this divide or like indifference between her and I.
But she doesn't need to let you. You're a grown woman. You can let yourself be free. And she's not going to do that because her ego, which is of the devil, it get a thrill, it get an excited emotion out of controlling you and not allowing this thing to end. It made her feel alive, which is death. but you can free yourself away from her by forgiving her.
Yes, and like I keep saying like, sorry. I feel as if that like, ooh, like is such a bad habit nowadays. Okay, sorry. I feel as if she feels that she would like croak. You know, go that like thing again. Anyway, she feels as if she would just croak if she was to like release the issue.
Yeah, she will, because she's getting a thrill out of hating and controlling you and other people, and she feel like that is life, and she doesn't know it's death. And then she feel like if she were to let that go, then she would have nothing to identify with, nothing to hold on to. She doesn't know that she would be free if she let that go. So that's why God got it set up so beautifully, is that we overcome the world. The world is not going to set you free voluntarily, but you can overcome the world right here on earth. Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yeah. How do you? I was following the instructions on one of your tapings one day when you were saying to like just sit still and basically meditate.
We're not meditate, but observate.
Oh yeah. And I always have like these interrupting thoughts. Like it just keeps. I don't know. It happens when I read. Like I just want to be. I wish I could just empty my mind completely, like back to a child state.
And you will if you just watch those thoughts. When you sit still and just watch those thoughts as though you're watching a movie or something. You're not in the movie. You're sitting there on the couch watching the movie, right? If you watch those thoughts in the same manner, and that's all you need to do is just see them, knowing that they're not you, you will be, as a child, in that you will have perfect peace. You will have no problems. You will have no worries. You will have no anything. You'll be free. But you got to know that you're not those thoughts and you're not the feelings. And you've been living in those thoughts for a while because you were traumatized. And when you were traumatized, you went into thoughts. And now you think that those thoughts are yours, and they are not. You think that those feelings that come with the feelings are just confirming the thoughts, and the thoughts are confirming the feelings, which are all of evil and of the devil. But if you just watch it, you'll be free from it. But you got to commit to working on you by watching those thoughts and stop calling them you. You are not your thoughts. So that when you stop calling them you will stop identifying with them and you will be free.
True. And I have to also find a way to like stop attracting abuse. Like, because I noticed.
Stop attracting thought. When you stop attracting thought, it would be impossible to attract abuse. The thoughts are the abusers, not someone else.
Yeah. I noticed that it's only because like my nucleus wasn't right. So it's like, you know, like when you wear color and then your subconscious like notices everybody else wearing the color when you step outside your house.
Right.
It's exactly like that. So it's like, even though I've walked away from it, and I'm good. Like, me and my kids are very close. Everything is it has like a euphoric thing in the house. When I go outside, it's like people just want to come up to me with BS. It's like, what is your problem? I don't even know you. It's so weird.
Well, let me say this, and then I got to run. Well, all you need to do right now. Where's your father, by the way?
He passed away.
Oh, okay. Well, may his soul rest in peace. All you got to do is now forgive your mother. Hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. Don't have any expectation. And then you be done with her and do the silent prayer. But start doing the silent prayer first, every morning, every night, and just practice watching the thoughts. There's nothing else you need to do. There's nothing else you can do. There's nothing else expected of you. It's but to become a watcher of the thoughts and feelings. And I'm telling you, paradise will be yours on earth. Start doing the silent prayer. Let me know how it goes.
Yes.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm glad to hear from you.
Okay.
Okay. Bye now. Amazing. Let me go to, there's a line open, 888-7753-773. Denny out of Bulgaria. Denny, welcome to the show. Get it off your chest.
Good day, Mr. Peterson. I hope you're doing well.
All is well, Denny.
Mr. Peterson, Sean told me that there is a static when I'm calling. Could you please confirm if you can hear me well, or should I call again or something?
Well, all is well on my end. I can hear you very well.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. I'd like to share a remarkable story, and in advance, I'd like to apologize because I didn't know it was Veterans Day today in the United States. I would like to share a remarkable story of a man who I deeply love and admire called Admiral Nelson. He's a British admiral. And you, some of your callers asked you, if yesterday doesn't exist, why do you talk about the good old days? I think I know why, and I'd like to share the story of this remarkable man. He was an admiral during the Battle of Trafalgar, and that's actually when Britain totally annihilated Napoleon's forces. And his vice admiral was a brilliant mathematician. His vice admiral told Admiral Nelson, mathematically speaking, this battle is lost. We can't win. The weather is against us. We don't have as much ships. We don't have as much crew. We don't have as much guns. Mathematically speaking, this war is over. Admiral Nelson said, I'm an admiral, not a mathematician. You have your orders. We're not fighting for the king. We're fighting for the country, and the country expects us to win. And his vice admiral was right. Mathematically, this battle was lost. Admiral Nelson won it. And he was that kind of a man, that kind of a character. He was mortally wounded in the beginning of the battle. He kept himself together. And once he heard that the battle was won, then he simply smiled and died. That's a remarkable spirit, remarkable courage. And I really admire that man. And for the good old days, Mr. Peterson, I wanted to share this with you.
Amazing. I understand. Thank you, Denny, so much. I appreciate that, man. And when I mentioned the good old days as well, it's just that I know what it was in America when men were the head, when they were leading, God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman. I understood then, and now that that's all broken, all we have on earth now is pure hell because they have just totally demolished men. And when they did that, they knew what they were doing, and they used the women to bring hell into the earth. But I remember when it was different. So I just want people to know that it hasn't always been this way.
Correct. And Mr. Peterson, if I have but a moment, may I tell you an observation I had with the silent prayer and everything?
Go ahead.
You mentioned a few times. I apologize. I didn't understood you. You mentioned that if you have to fix a marriage, if you have to force it, then it's not real. And I was wondering, what is this man talking about? I was taught all my life that you're supposed to fight for it, right? But when I really think about it, it's like friendship. Like I have friends, but nobody forced me to be friends with them. It happened naturally.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for about 20 years.
Yeah.
I think the same is for the marriage as well. I don't know why. I just wasn't able to see it. But you are 100% correct, sir.
Anyone that think that you have to make any kind of relationship happen, you have to fight for it, then you're a blind fool. If it's not happening naturally, it's not meant to be. And everyone who try to make relationships work, they don't work, or they still try to make it. And then when they break up with those, their husband or wife or girlfriend or whatever, they go and find somebody else and try to make that work, and that doesn't work, and they keep trying the same old thing over and over again.
Right on. Have a remarkable day, Mr. Peterson. God be with you.
You too, Denny. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye now. Let me take a quick break. One line open, 888-7753-773. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. America, sweet, sweet America. 888-7753-773. Listen, check out my books. They are amazing. And yes, I will sign them. People ask me all the time, do you sign your books? Like, yes, I do if you order them online. My first book, From Rage to Responsibility, an amazing book. And then Scam, How the Black Leadership Exploits Black America. It's been going on since the Civil Rights Movement. And it's amazing how most people will not wake up to that. Hopefully Scam will wake you up. And then the 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. And we'll have the 7 Guaranteed reprinted because we ran out. So we're having to reprint. You can get the 7 Guaranteed Steps. It's available on Kindle and Auto Books. Kindle and Auto Books. It's a little thin pocket guide. If you do the 7 steps, they will work. It's about everything I write in the 7 steps, I did it and I'm still doing it. You can go to rebuildingtheman.com/store. And there's a link on Amazon.com where you can purchase the book, the 7 Guaranteed Stuff, right? On Kindle and Audiobooks. And last but not least, the antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. It's so deep, it makes you want to holler. Healing, if ever America needed a healing, is now. Check them out, rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And thank you all for donating to Bond. We've been around almost 34 years, I think 33 now. In February, the Lord is willing, 34 years. And we have an entrepreneur program where we're teaching men how to start businesses, or those who may already be in business but don't know quite what to do. And we also use the 7 Guaranteed Stuff for that as well. And we have a credit union where we loan some of the guys money to help get their business started or keep it going because they have bad credit or no credit at all, and they have to pay it back. so that we can keep the credit union thing going. And then we're building a 24-hour radio network with all guys, 24-hour talk, one step at a time. And we counsel, tutor. We have the best counseling service on this side of heaven by phone, Skype, or walk-in. Go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND to make an appointment for that. And we have every month, the first Thursday of the month for men-only meetings, forums, and the third Thursday of the month for ladies only. And those lady meetings are amazing. These are women who are truly working on themselves to overcome the fallen state, the ego nature. Some of them at first they thought, oh, he hates women. But they thought about it. They're like, yeah, I do resent my mother. I am angry at her. She has created me in her image. She does control me. I am like her. I get angry. I have no patience. And they're like, wow, he's right. And they forgive, they do the silent prayer, and the rest is history. And then on Sunday morning, we have fellowship for all. At 11 a.m., doors open at 10:30. 11 a.m., the meeting starts on Sunday mornings. 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. For all. So go to rebuildingtheman.com/church. All right? So I appreciate it. We got a lot to do. Amazing. Let me go quickly back to the phones. Let me go to Corey, a first-time caller out of Michigan. Cora, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, how are you?
All is well, Cora.
So I've actually counseled with you before, and I've been a little bit in a loop, and I'm not afraid to like call the devil out for what he is. Like, I definitely think that he's kind of gotten into my imagination a little bit with forgiving my parents, because back a couple months ago, I was watching your show, and I was watching like you talking about forgiveness, and I made a choice to just walk downstairs and just, my parents usually come as a pack. They're never by themselves. So they were like having their little, like, they do music in the evening, whatever. So I come downstairs and I'm like, hey, I just want you guys both to know, like, I forgive you and I'm sorry for resenting you, and I realized you couldn't help yourself. And just recently, like a month ago, I was watching like how to forgive on your, like, just your YouTube. And then the devil's like, oh, well, you know, you didn't do it exactly how, like, he said. You didn't, like, ask God to let you see yourself. But the thing is with that is, like, I already knew I did not like my parents because I always had anger towards them. So after watching your forgiveness video, it was just like I didn't even have to think about it. I got up and knew I needed to do it, and I just did it. But I'm scared that was I just trying to get my one-way ticket to heaven, or did I genuinely forgive my parents?
And how old are you, Cora?
I'm only 19.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful because you're working on yourself at an early age. Let me tell you, the fear that you're feeling and the ideas and thoughts that you're getting, did I really forgive my parents? Or did I do it just to go to heaven? One way ticket to heaven. That's not you, Cora. That's the devil talking to you. And now you got to start realizing that all these voices that you hear like that or in your head, period, are not you. And the feelings you get, the feeling of fear or whatever, it's not you. So you got to stop identifying with it, even if you have to quietly say to yourself, that's not me, those are not my thoughts, so that you can stop identifying with it. You're doing just fine.
So there's no right way to forgive them. It's just whenever you do, that was God's timing.
Right. You've done it, and that's all you need to do. Move on. But the devil, which made a home in your thoughts and feelings, would tell you that you have not done it so you can doubt yourself because he doesn't want you to stay on the path. He doesn't want you to know you have forgiven because he doesn't want to depart from your mind and your emotions. So that's not you. Just know that that's not you. You're doing fine.
And I do have a question.
Does that make sense first?
That does make sense. And that knowing was in me, but like, man, he's been working overtime the devil. But okay, so basically, like, I didn't like go into depth. I was just like, hey, I forgive you. I'm sorry for resenting you. I realized you couldn't help yourself. I didn't like sit down and tell them why and like what they did. I didn't do any of that.
You didn't need to either.
Okay.
Because all you're doing is saying, I now understand. I understand it wasn't you. And by you understanding that, you are being made free by God. You don't need to explain them to all the details and all that. It's not even necessary.
Okay. And then one more question is, I was watching a kid that was actually at your church, and I know that you talk to them, that's their thing, but he was saying that, like, how do you know that you genuinely forgive them? And I ask this because since I forgave them, there was one incident, and I'm going to just tell you so you understand. Basically, we were moving to another town, and my parents had like a whole like possessive attack because they're both not renewed. And my dad was saying awful things about my boyfriend's grandpa dying, and then they were threatening to throw out all my stuff. So I instantly, like, I feel like it was anger, and I don't remember if I yelled or said something awful to them because I was in an unconscious state because I was so worked up. And I thought to myself, if I truly forgave them, then why that day did I get so angry at the way they were, like, acting? But now I realize that wasn't me. That was the devil in me, and it didn't really have anything to do with what they were doing. But in the moment, it was someone to blame because they were acting so awful towards me.
Yeah, you're right about that. It wasn't you. That was not you that got angry. And what they were doing toward you, they were doing it to themselves, not you.
So is it okay to feel anger but not act on it after you forgive your parents?
100%. Well, if it should come up, be glad to see it and feel it and know that it's not you. And don't overreact at all, and it will have to die. It will pass.
Okay, because I want to just take a breather really quick. I feel like a lot of people, because I watch all your videos, I feel like a lot of people might have that confused, and that's what's keeping them in their hell. Because I feel like people think once you forgive your parents, you're not allowed to have anger towards them. But I feel like that's not the truth. It's just that you can't act on it.
Well, one thing happened once you forgive, and now the light is shining in you, and the light is shining on the darkness, which is the nature of the devil. And the devil is overreacting to the light because now it has to depart. You got the light to help you now that you've forgiven. You have the light of God, the love, the truth, the nature of God. And he is rebuking the devil from you because the devil has made a home in you. He's been driving you. And so the devil is overreacting inside of you, and it's not you. So the devil is getting angry. He's screaming. He's carrying on. But it's not you. And most people don't know that. Now that the light is there to help you, the light would get rid of the nature, the old nature, which is of the devil, all the vices and everything. And they think it's them, and they don't realize that once the light come on, that's going to happen, where the devil will rise up and try to keep a home in you. He want to stay there.
So real quick then, is there a reason you say that when you forgive your parents, the anger goes?
And it does, because now the light is shining on you. And the anger is the nature of evil. It has never been your nature. It's the nature of evil, and it will go. It will end.
But that's just within time, though, after you've forgiven.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's not like, oh, you go forgive your parents, bam, the anger is gone.
And sometimes I wouldn't put I can't say never, but because it's all depend on the person. Most people are totally identified with the abnormal nature, the anger, the jealousy, the envy, the strife, the worry, the fear, the loneliness, and all this anxiety, they truly think that is them. And so when they forgive, it's a little harder and take longer for them. But for those who really know that something is wrong and it's not them, it could happen at the twinkling of an eye for them. So I wouldn't. That's why you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone else's story or anything.
Right.
The
So I
devil
should
will
be
use
watching-
that against you to make you think, "Oh, it didn't happen to you like that. It must not be real."
Okay, that's exactly my question. So for that day that I got really angry at my parents, and I don't remember if I lashed out or yelled or whatever, but I know that I was unconscious. I saw that after the fact. Now I'm in this state where, like, I live with my parents still. I'm pretty young, but my mom, like, but, you know, I've forgiven her, but, man, it'll be waking up at 6 a.m., Cora didn't clean the kitchen, the dogs, you know. And the other day, I woke my boyfriend up at 6 a.m., I'm like, man, she's really trying to turn me away from my father. and it wasn't like I was just, like, mad, but I had that, like, I'm annoyed, you know, like, like, you don't got to do all that.
Well,
So,
stop saying I'm annoyed and just see it. You don't need to conversate with it. You don't call it you anymore. Just notice it. That's all you need to do.
okay, so I just need to know that I've forgiven them that day. It's done and over with. I don't need to go and tell them why and this and that.
Right.
I just forgiven them, and then I need to know that it is okay to feel anger because that is just the devil in me dying away, and I don't need to, like, be like, oh, my God, I didn't forgive him because I still feel anger.
Right. 100%. And all you need to do is see it. And seeing it is taking care of it. As long as you don't identify with it, don't call it you. Don't say my anger or I'm angry. You are not angry, and it's not your anger. It's a spirit of evil.
Okay, and then real quick, and I'll let you go. I just remember that video of that kid. He didn't forgive his parents, but he was wanting to. And then I got mixed up because you said that if you forgive your parents, the anger will leave, and that's why, like, I feel like me or other people might get that mixed up. So now that we clarified on, like, the podcast, other people can see and me, and now I know that it's okay to have that anger. It will just depart slower or faster for other people after you forgive. I feel like that clears up a lot of, like, miscommunication.
Yeah, and don't put a time on it, and don't compare your life with anyone else's life. If you hear people say, "Oh, the anger just left right away," just wish them well. And Psalm said, "It took me 20 years." Wish them well, but don't listen to the devil telling you, "Oh, it's gonna take you that long. Oh, it didn't happen to you that way." It's still the devil deceiving you, making you think it's you.
Okay, so next time anger comes up or upsetness or just annoyedness, I just watch it, let it go. No, I already forgave my parents. I don't need to go back for, why and because you did this and that. I just need to sit still, watch the thoughts, watch the emotions, and know that they're not me.
100%.
Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. I really appreciate it.
Corey, remember, all you need to do is watch. Don't do anything else about it.
Okay.
Because it's spirit, it's spiritual, it's spirits. And you need the spirit of the Father, which is of the light, to deal with the spirit of the devil, which is of darkness, which is evil.
Yeah, I really do think that, I think that almost watching you, the devil has used that against me in a sense. He's using other people's stories, or when people ask questions on your Sunday service, he used that against me to, like, bring you, like, literally exactly what you said is exactly what he did. And, like, even last night, like, my cheeks get flushed out. Like, I can, like, feel the hell just rumbling and working through me. And then, like, talking to you, just, like, it, like, brought me back out of the water. You know, like, I was drowning for a minute.
Yeah. And so from now on, when that rumble starts on the inside, let it rumble, go through the valley of the shadow of death, and on the other side is heaven. You got to go through hell in order to get to heaven.
Okay, so I don't need to go back to my parents about anything anymore, about forgiveness.
Right, not at all.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. I really appreciate it.
All right, are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Oh yeah, I am. And actually, you know what's funny with that is when I called you last and talked to you, and I'm sure other people deal with this, I dealt with an OCD thing, or I identify with it. Now I don't, but I used to unconsciously, like it. You know what you say, like the devil actually like possessed me with like going into my thoughts. Like I always felt like I needed to like constantly go over thoughts. It was like, did I touch the door handle the right way? It would be anything, or it could be like the craziest thoughts about like very bad things. So that's what like drove me to be scared. But soon then I realized when I did the silent prayer, as soon as I watched that video for the first time, it was just like it was just there's no words. It made me realize the devil was like, oh crap, she's got her eyes on me now. What do I do? You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I do.
It was like, it was amazing.
Yep. Well, stay with it. Become the watcher within, and you'll be fine. Believe me. You just need to watch the thoughts. They come and they go. And what's going to happen if you stay with it, you're going to notice that the thoughts are becoming weaker and weaker and weaker.
Farther.
Right. And eventually the thought will be gone and the devil will have to depart.
Wow. And you know what's, I watch a lot of your videos, and I really admire that, like, you didn't go on the outside resources for this stuff. Like, you really went through your life and was like, you watch this stuff and you preach it to other people. Like, you don't, like, I have a really big problem. I'm a girl, and I feel like I really need a leader, and you have been, like, my God voice for 2 years now. And, like, how do you feel about that? Like, should I take a minute from you watching you? Should I, like, just do the silent prayer? Like, because I feel like without your voice, it's like, it's almost like I can't hear God sometimes.
Well, just use it as a good fellowship.
Okay.
So one witness to another. That's all you need.
So it doesn't need to be like, oh my gosh, I need him, like, you know.
No, but if you want to talk or you want to listen, do it consciously. And that's what we do on Sundays. I don't preach. I don't teach. We have a fellowship. We talk to one another. We agree and disagree. We edify one another. And that's what you and I are doing right now, because it's the Spirit of God inside of us. And it's a witness to what we're saying, whether it's true or not. And that's why you can tell if it's true or not what I'm saying, and I can tell about you, because we are recognizing the witness inside of us. We're not trying to figure this out on our own.
So let me tell you one more thing. What started all this is that I had a fear of going to hell, because I felt like if I like died tomorrow, did I forgive my parents the right way? But now that we clarified all that, like, I guess I have this big thing of like, if I don't do this the right way, like, will I end up in hell? Like, that's where this all started. And I know that's a thought, and I know it's from the devil, but like, it genuinely like took me right down the pit.
Well, anyone that has anger and they're living in a thought, they can't help it. If they're in hell already. And what happens when you overcome thoughts, you overcome anger, overcome thought, you're now in heaven. You're already in heaven or hell. So you're coming out of hell into heaven when you forgive. And you've done that, so you'll be fine. You are fine. All you need to do is watch now, all right?
Okay, sounds good. Sounds great.
All right, Cora, thank you. It's good talking to you.
Have a good day.
You too. Amazing. 19 years old. Doesn't get any better than that. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. Am I right? This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Friday, November 10th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour 3. JLP will be right back to your calls. There is one line open. But first, Hake news, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the Hake Report. And then, of course, the Fallen State happening at noon Pacific time today. And then, of course, at 4-ish Pacific time, American Anchor Baby, Nick Stream. Very cool. And then, of course, Church on Sunday, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/church. That's where you can also find the silent prayer there. Nice. Nashville's diversity-obsessed black police chief hid that trans shooter's anti-white manifesto. That's the report from Revolver News, revolver.news. Reporting November 9th, 2023, so-called FTM, female to so-called wannabe male, trans, quote-unquote, mass murderer Audrey Aiden was her male wannabe name. Hale, taken down by heroic white police officers, left behind a manifesto before killing 6 at a Nashville Christian school back in April 2023. She was supposedly white. As you know, Steven Crowder exposed that she railed against privileged C-word, rackers, ackers cray, and other things. Very anti-white, according to that manifesto that seems to have been real, leaked out there. Officials even claimed that the manifesto didn't express any specific political or social agenda. What? Black Police Chief John Drake has expressed extreme frustration over the leak. Some speculate that unchristian Attorney General the DOJ head Merrick Garland, Obama's failed Supreme Court pick, not a Christian, pressured to suppress the manifesto. Don't know if that's true, but that's the speculation. For 3 years since taking the political position, Black Police Chief of Nashville, Tennessee, John Drake, sought to crack down on over-policing and make the force more diverse. Over-policing, creating a chief diversity officer. When he took over, MPD was 82%. No, MNPD, Metro Nashville Police Department, was 82% white. 2 years, now it's 62% white, down 20%. Black Police Chief John Drake was recently in the news after his son John Drake Jr. shot 2 officers during a crime spree in the area. A career criminal, Jr. was, who met his end last month during a car chase with the police. Despite my efforts and guidance in the early and teenage years, my son, John Drake Jr., now 38 years old, resorted to years of criminal activity and is a convicted felon. That's what the chief of police, John Drake Sr., said during the manhunt. Now Jr.'s dead, according to Fox Nashville, apparently of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Allegedly carjacked a woman and led police on a chase before officers found him dead. In October, the far-left extremist Off the Deep End Associated Press did an article headlined, Nashville Police Chief has spent a career mentoring youths, but couldn't keep his son from trouble. X account, National Conservative, tweeted a Black History Month video of John Drake Sr. saying, I am John Drake, Metro Nashville Police Chief, and I am MNPS, Metro Nashville Public Schools Black Excellence, he called it. He called himself Black Excellence. That was a Black History Month video. Drake was appointed in November 2020, John Drake was, chosen because of his skin color and no doubt his liberal mama evil spirit, specifically to appease BLM militants, according to Revolver News. Drake told the Nashville Scene in 2021 that he openly supported Black Lives Matter. And since 2021, violent crime has risen by nearly 5%. In the Tennessee city, big city, Nashville, Tennessee. What a mess. Rest in peace to moon-orbiting astronaut Frank Borman, according to CNN. The Apollo astronaut who commanded the first mission to orbit the moon in 1968. He's died at age 95. A long life. Congratulations and rest in peace. One of NASA's best, said the space agency. Astronaut Frank Borman was a true American hero. And space is real and awesome, created by God. Eat your heart out, brainless space deniers. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
have to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. I totally enjoyed the conversation with Cora. I'm telling you, folks, if you really want to have fun in life, like real legitimate fun in life, not ego fun. You can have any little ego fun you want, but if you want to really have real fun in your life, serious but not too serious, delightful fun in your life, work on yourself. Work on your life and start to overcome. You just want more and more and more and more, and it just become amazing. It's real legitimate fun. Working on yourself. Anyway, you can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question for this week. Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother? Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother? It's an amazing question. Do you ever think about that? How come I see them the way I see them? Either one of them. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad anywhere in the world, the whole round world, because we are heard around the world by everybody and their mama. Or up and down, if you're a flat earther, up and down the world. And so you can listen to the show at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500 on your iPhone or iPad. Follow us, JLP Talk, on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Like, follow, ring the bell, subscribe, telephone, telegraph, and tell a woman about the show. All right. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Bond on JLP Cash App, Bond on JLP Cash App, or buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com. This amazing shirt, be aware of the children of the lie. You can get it at the store there on the fallerstate.tv. Rebuildingtheman.com or fallerstate.tv/store. All right? All kind of good things there. Amazing. So, it's getting it off your chest. Friday. It is, and this is an amazing open that the Anchorman put together. I had no idea. It is Express Yourself Friday. It is whatever is on your mind. Express Yourself Friday. This is Donald Trump.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached because everything you say about black people and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a great alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Ohioans voted to legalize recreational marijuana. So, Jonathan, how are they feeling right now?
Well, Rob, they feel great. They feel relieved. They pointed to studies that show little or no negative effects.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
A racist sign was found near Bellingham High School, and frustrated parents want to know what's happening inside the school.
Stop white hate. Police say 2 residents removed it when they saw it Saturday and brought it here to the police department, concerned about the tone.
I thought that was a good thing.
Many other studies show crime and road safety will be negatively impacted. But nevertheless, the majority of voters have said yes to legalization.
Nadia Mohammed won the election for mayor of St. Louis Park with 58% of the votes. Her family immigrated there when she was just 10 years old, and she has served as a council member since 2020.
So a big win for a abortion rights activist.
Amazing. So, Nick, I'm the only one that heard it that way? Okay. Amazing. So before I go back to the phones and your super chats, I don't know about y'all, but this is mind-blowing to me in my country. Mind-blowing to me. Really mind-blowing. And I don't know what the American people are thinking. I don't know why they think things are going to get better. Oh, I'm a patriot. It's going to get better. No, it's not. It can't get better. It can't get better in the country. You can get better as an individual if you work on yourself. But the country and the people in the world, in this country, are not going to get better. And our country outside of you is not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. And I got more proof. Talk about the people getting the type of government it deserves. KTSP is reporting Minnesota has its first ever Somalia American mayor. Watch this from CBS and NBC.
Nadia Mohammed won the election for mayor of St. Louis Park with 58% of the votes. Her family immigrated there when she was just 10 years old, and she has served as a council member since 2020.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just did that. Celebrating her daughter become the first black mayor, the first Somali mayor, the first Muslim mayor, and the youngest in St. Louis Park history.
You got some dumb A folks in Minnesota. That looked like Africa. It looked like Somalia. Why do you think that you could bring a Somalian over to our country and let it run for government in our government? What do you think her mentality is? You just heard it. The first black female Somalian, the first black this and the first black that. That is now in your government. What do you think the type of law she's going to pass? What is wrong with you? And she's a female from a foreign land. What do you think her mentality? She just said first Muslim, black, Somalian female. Oh, man. So what's the problem?
The Wirecast problem.
Okay, I figure out what's going on. Apparently, we're having an issue with Wirecast or somebody, and it's only when I play sound bites. And so what I'm going to have to do is just talk and take calls and talk and take calls. No more sound bites, right, Bill? I'm sorry?
I said no.
Okay, no sound bites. But the point I'm making, you got Elian Omar, Lashik Khalid, you got the little black bald-headed woman and some other black. What are they doing? Are they making our government or our country any better? What's the deal? Why would you elect a Somalian American, Somalian, she ain't no American, a Somalian into our government? Look what they've done to Africa. Look what they have done to the countries that they came from. And now they're all moving into certain areas in our country and voting one another in, and they're just creating the same environment. You voted in the blacks, and what have they done? They have done nothing but created black hoodie environments in the government, and you still vote for them. How come you can't see that? This woman should not be in government. Just like those so-called squad, or AOC and the little bald-headed one, the black one with the no hair. I don't know why she got no hair. Well, wig or something, but no hair. I mean, they're just a mess. And all they're doing is bringing nothing but confusion in the government and in our country, and y'all still vote for them. And you say, oh, things are going to get better. We're becoming one. We're being fair. You're playing with the devil. So we can't even play this thing with Vic Robert Saba at the debate the other night, right, Sean? Amazing. I can't play the one where they found a white sign that says stop the racism. What a mess. There was a sign that was, according to a report, that was found along the roadside somewhere. And it says stop the white hate. And according to the report, the people are having a hissy fit. Stop the white hate. Do you think that had that sign said stop the black hate, stop hating the blacks, there would be nothing said? Oh, that's so nice. Stop hating the blacks. Stop hating the Jews. Stop hating Palestine, Gaza, whatever. There would be no issue at all. But stop hating the white, they act like the earth is on fire. They all upset, running around, put the sign away, and overreacting. This is a white man land, folks. Why is it okay to hate the white man? If hate is bad for one, it's bad for all. It's just all ego, just all reaction to get a thrill. Why can't the white people say stop hating the whites? And I'm glad that the whites are saying that. About time. White people are not your problem. You are your own problem. No other human being is the problem for another adult. Every individual adult, male or female, is responsible for their own life. You're responsible. And you're a fool, you're blind, you're weak and pathetic if you blame somebody else for your fears and your doubts and your worries and your overreactions and your silliness. It's on you. But I can't play it because we're having some type of issue going on here. I would love to, but we'll get the issue resolved in about a year or 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 30. Amazing, huh? Let me take calls. This is Open Line Friday. Since I cannot do the sound bites, I want you all to remember that I said this. As I've been telling white people for over 30 years, y'all need to start speaking up. They're coming after you. And the whites did not speak up. you will live to regret, as you already are with Ilhan Omar and Shaleen and those black people you voted into your government, whether Democrat or Republican blacks. You will live to regret that you're voting these people in. When they be saying, first, I'm the first this, and I'm the first that, and I'm the first this, and I'm the first that, they're telling you, I hate white people, I hate America. I hate white people, I hate America. First Muslim, first female, first this, they're saying, I hate America. I hate white people, they're saying. And you still vote them in. And then you complain, why are they treating me this way? Why is this happening? Anyway, let me go back to the phones here. Let me go to Nathaniel. Nathaniel been waiting a long time here. Nathaniel, thank you for calling. Thanks for holding you on the air. Get it off your chest.
Good morning, Jesse. How are you?
All is well.
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Great, because I was getting that audio feedback a few times, but we're good now, so I just want to make sure.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so I did call you before, but you're black, so you probably don't remember. But 3 weeks ago, I called you about my wife and I splitting and telling you about the apartment situation. Do you remember that?
Oh, man, never ask a black man if you remember.
I know. But yeah, just a quick update on that. So I did call you to kind of just vent a little bit about, getting it off my chest as far as getting her out. And this whole month, just like the last caller who told you that the devil is doing overtime. And you can let Joelle know, it doesn't matter what her name was. But furthermore, this whole month has been just a ride of her just showing her emotions and me trying to just sit still and observe. But this last week has been amazing. We're finally going through the process of not breaking our lease, but it's called a roommate release. So good thing it's not going to affect either of ours credit, and we're looking to move on.
Oh, so you, I'm getting a little remembrance of what happened. So you were breaking up with this woman, your wife.
Yep.
You guys were living in the same apartment on the same lease, right?
Yes.
And I suggested that you go and talk to the manager about the lease. There may be a way out.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So good news. Yeah. So good news is that it's it's called a roommate release. So we both just have to sign it, acknowledging that I'm taking over the lease. And she keeps, my ex keeps putting it on hold, trying to continue to get back with me. But I'm standing my feet strong. I keep telling her, like, hey, like, I need to move on. And it's coming to the point, and I hate doing this, but I'm lying to her saying that we can talk in the future. I just got to get you out of the apartment so I could start my life again. So I'm not sure what advice you should give me, but I don't want to be with her anymore. I want to move on.
And this is your wife, huh?
I'm sorry?
This is your wife? You're already married to her?
So we were never legally documented as far as marriage.
Oh, I see.
Yep. So we did go through all the wedding stuff, paid a lot of money, but yeah. So nothing was signed.
And she doesn't want to leave you?
No. So she was like, I want to move out by December 31st, but I can already know that the devil's going to put in even more overtime to try to manipulate her into think that we're going to get back together within this month, so she doesn't have to move out.
And so, like, she doesn't want to break up?
She doesn't, but it's been hell,
And why you want to break up? Why, are you able to say why you want to break up?
Yeah, so with finding you in the past year, and kind of just you opening my eyes, me forgiving my parents, God's given me a clear path that my relationship has been awful. Her and I have had this, I've been accused of infidelity because I was a personal trainer in the past, and I was a personal trainer for 8 years. And I gave that all up just to be with her because I knew, like, with the clients that I have, the East Coast and the West Coast, that they'll message me at any time. And, of course, most of my clients were females because they just know that, you know, they're going to be pushed more than with the female trainer.
But why did you give up your business like that?
Because, one, it was more of a financial decision. I know that if I were to continue doing that, I would need to have a social media presence. But with being in a relationship with her, which is another red flag, is I had to keep all my social media in private because she felt that, you know, people are going to be nosy, and this is all just like her, like she's European, so this is kind of just her culture, kind of going into, you know, our relationship, saying that this can be an issue of, you know, again, people being nosy and
But let
just,
me.
you know,
But so you had a
saying, go
business.
ahead.
You had a business before you met her training, right?
Yeah.
And
I met her at the gym, which is crazy too.
And then after you got with her, you had to shut down your business just to satisfy her?
Yes. Beta.
But why would you do something like that? That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I mean, it wasn't the main reason. I mean, it was probably like 60% of the reason. I knew long term that it wasn't going to make me the money that I needed to.
Oh,
and I've already proved that. I have my own business now. I do consulting, so I make more money now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, smaller picture 4 years ago, you know, I wouldn't be thinking that way. I'm like, you know, like you said, you'd be questioning, why did I make that decision? But I knew it wasn't the end-all, be-all.
And so you want to break up with her now because she is trying to control you?
Yeah, so she continues to accuse me of infidelity.
Oh, I see.
She brings up the past and can't let it go.
Oh, okay.
She can't control her anger. Every time we got into a fight, it led into destruction. And I told you this before, that she's ruined everything I owned, you know, from clothes to things in the apartment. And like I mentioned to you a couple weeks ago, I've called the cops on her several times. And like you told me as far as advice, was to let the cops know it's emotional abuse and nothing physical.
And did you do that?
But so the good thing is that we've been seeing progress, and that's why it's been 3 weeks since I've called you. It's because we've made small progress. Because I'm lying to her, though. I'm telling her that, you know, if you move out a month or two from now, you know, we'll be able to talk. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to continue to lie to her and give her false hope. I just want to move on and get rid of her because, you know, it's just hell.
If you told her the truth that, hey, I still don't want to be with you, and ain't nothing going to happen when we move out, will she become destructive again?
Yes, and I've already told her that a few times. You know, the first week of us breaking up, and it's just, and this is the thing too, is that when I put my social media to public, of course, everyone that tried to follow me, like requested to follow me, all of them followed me. So I blocked her because she was doing evil stuff. She was going into my friends list on my social media and asking them if I've ever talked to them.
Well, why didn't you just have her arrested?
I should. But
no, I'm asking, why didn't you?
I think we're almost at the finish line because today we're supposed to sign the release form, but it's the matter of how do I get her out in a non-aggressive way? Like how can it be as smooth as possible?
Well, see what happened once you signed this thing, and you'll see what to do. In closing, what have you learned about yourself and this relationship that you didn't realize when you got into it?
Well, first, I married my mother, and you could have told me that before even talking to me. You know, just through our difficulty of our 5-year relationship, it exactly reflected how my parents are. And I didn't tell you this, but the worst thing that's happened recently was her parents went to my parents' house to say that we needed to get back together or else they were going to pretty much blackmail me because I have the messages, but my ex tried to threaten me, saying that she would go to the cops, saying that I raped her. But that's another reason why I shouldn't be with her, is that I
What
feel
does
like
grape
my
mean?
life is threatened. Grapes?
Yeah.
Well, we're on YouTube, so I don't want to say what it really means.
Oh, okay. Oh, somebody's telling me right now. I would have gotten rid of her right then when you found that out, because if she didn't do something like that, and then her parents is in agreement, I would get rid of her real fast.
Yeah, and that's what broke the camel's back, is that exact moment.
Yeah.
And that was the third time I called the cops, and I told them about it. And you would have thought they were just, that was their first time on the job, because they were just like, I don't know what to do. Like, just talk to her, I guess.
Well, then just stay calm and see what happens when you sign the papers. And I like the fact you're telling her, oh, just go ahead. We're going to be fine later. To avoid all the hell and then move on with your life.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give you an update on that. And then, what's the biblical question again?
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
I am, and I actually can put in a third time during the midday.
Oh, good. Well, stay with the silent prayer. The biblical question, who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother?
So I've been smoking on this the whole week, and without thinking about it too much, because that's when Satan kicks in, I would have to say because growing up, my mother always told me not to be my father, but that's because that was Satan talking. And just, I was a mama's boy growing up until like about high school.
So your mother gave you the impression you have of her, you say?
No, my father did.
Oh.
Because growing up, I was a mama's boy, and she would always say, don't be your father, don't do this about your father, don't be like him.
Amazing.
And then once my father...
Nathan, I got to run, Nathan, I got to run. Thank you, man. Back in a moment. People tell me I have a lot of alpha energy. Jesse, what gives you so much alpha energy, they say? Is it energy drinks? No. Is it cigars? No. It's Alpha Jerky. Alpha Jerky from Big Club, USA. Alpha male, and you can have Alpha Jerky energy too. Amazing. Okay, we can't do sound bites for the rest of the show. And I have some amazing stuff my producer put together. We'll do it on Monday if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. So announcement real fast. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. TheHakeReport.com from 9 to 11 a.m. And the Hake has a guest host. I'm not a guest host. What do you have, Dave? Big Bump will be co-hosting with the Hake Report today at 9 a.m. And by the way, the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. The treasure chest is open on D-Live. So Big Bump will be here today with the Hake. And then at 12 noon, a brand new episode of The Fallen State. Are we able to play that? No? I don't know if we can play it or not, but I had an amazing conversation with Aaron Edwards. And Aaron is a Christian academia theologian, writer and preacher from the UK. At 12 noon, thefallenstate.tv. It was an amazing discussion. So don't forget to check it out. And you can support The Fallen State at thefallenstate.tv, thefallenstate.tv, and locals.com. And at 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby. 4 p.m. on Fridays, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Flying high as a kite on natural energy. The American Anchor Baby. All right? And you don't want to miss it. It's Sunday morning fellowship for all. Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Doors open at 10:30. Come on down. If you're not in the area, you can watch it live by going to rebuildingaman.com/church. rebuildingaman.com/church. Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. Pacific time and 2 p.m. Eastern time. I want to go back to the callers. And then we're going to get to your super chats, too. Mario has been waiting a long time out of Canada. First-time caller. Mario, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thanks, Mr. Peterson.
You're welcome.
My question is about anger. You always mention anger. You shouldn't be angry. A lot of motivational speakers are always saying use that anger to get things done. And that's what I do. And the next day I'm exhausted.
Yeah. That's right. And your question for me is what?
The right answer. Like, everyone's saying use the anger, and you say don't. Seems like Satan's the one making me angry.
Yeah. Mario, anyone that tells you, I don't care who it is, how many degrees they have or don't have, family members or whomever it might be, anyone that tells you to use the anger, anyone that tells you that anger is good, anger is of Jesus, they are your enemy. And don't listen to it, man. They are your enemy. They're trying to keep you in the same hell that they're in. If you want natural, God-given energy, you got to overcome the anger. Drop the anger. And then you will have natural energy to do what you have to do during the day and have time left over.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And which is the nature, the energy of God. And in that, there's nothing but love. There's nothing but light, love. The way is made clear. Your burdens are light. Your way is easy. There's no stress, worry, or fear or anything involved. But if you have anger, you're carrying all those things, which is of the devil. I would recommend you drop the anger. And then you get done what you need to get done, and you won't feel worn out or tired out at the end of the day or any other time.
You mentioned nature. I probably should spend some time in nature. I'm always in the concrete jungle here.
Well, when I'm talking about nature, anyone that has anger has the nature of evil. It's the nature of the devil. That's why the devil nature is stress, worry, insecurity, fear, jealousy, envy, strife, revenge, gossiping, suicidal thoughts, all those stuff. That's the nature of the devil. But when you drop the anger by forgiving, then the nature of the devil will be destroyed, and you can only live in the nature of God, which is nothing but life. Have you forgiven your mother?
Kind of, but she keeps coming at me.
What do you mean?
Oh, jeez. She's always trying to pick at me in these stupid little fights and things. Like, she's still alive. She's not doing well at all. And, she tries to get me to look for things where she knows where they are. And, she takes care of my brother more than she does me. And it's probably for good reason. He needs the help.
Are you living with her?
No, sir. I moved out, 3 years ago, and I'm 46.
So why haven't you just blocked her from your life since she won't back off?
Well, she cooks for me, so I go over there and visit her, and she gives me some food. So that's nice.
You moved out at 43?
Yeah. Beta.
That's real beta. What the? And why do you need her to cook for you?
Well, the food's good and makes my life a little easier.
Which one you want, peace or good food and help from your mama, or peace?
Peace is the best.
So why don't you let go of the world so you can have perfect peace?
And cook for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm Italian, and the Italian attachment to mama is pretty powerful. It's like the umbilical cord is still attached.
It's like that for all human beings. That's why God said we must be born again of the Father, because that attachment to the mother is death. It will kill you.
She tried to make me into a male version of her.
And as long as you got to go there to eat her meal, it's going to be that way.
Oh, man.
I mean, Mario, I got to run because of time. Call me again.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're welcome, buddy. Let me go to Michael first. There's a line open, 888-7753-773. Michael, a first-time caller out of Canada. Michael, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse, Jesse. What's up, man?
All is well, Michael.
I got a quick question for you.
Yes.
Can you be a Christian without never reading the Bible?
Absolutely. You have a better chance of becoming a Christian by not reading the Bible than you do as a result of reading the Bible.
That was exactly what I thought. And in reference to the biblical question,
who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother?
While I was growing up, I was really, really close to my mother because I didn't have no father around. He quit buy some milk, never came back. And where I'm from Quebec, French country, French province in Canada, and where religion is probably most gone over here, but before we were pretty much Catholic. And Catholic people, I think Catholic is like the mama spirit of Christianity, because they talk about Mary, like they say in French, she's the mother of God. Sainte Mère de Dieu, like they say, which is totally false. I mean, I never read the Bible, but I know that Jesus is not God. And if she's the mother of God...
And so you got your impression, because of time here, you got your impression of your mother from who?
Pretty much Tupac. No, man. I think it's more cultural, because over here is very mama spirit, mama... They really, really control everything. There's no man over here. A little bit, but most are beta male.
How old are you?
27.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Well, Michael, thank you so much, buddy, and responding to the biblical question. And I'll put my little 2 cents on Sunday. Call me again. I got to run because of time. Call me again, all right?
God bless you.
You too, buddy. Thank you. A line open, 888-7753-773. Super Chat.
Super Chats.
On Rumble, Belgian Congo yesterday. I'm remiss in not reading this one. Let us try uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them by lies.
Nice. Amazing.
And today, Belgian Congo, a super chat on Rumble. Jesse is a legend, and I hope that one day we'll unite the races with truth.
Well, one thing I can tell you, that all men and women around the world, no matter what color, where they're from, that are overcoming anger, and a lot are now, we are uniting with them because our true brothers and sisters are those who have been truly born again of the Father. They have not intellectually, but spiritually returned to the Father. We are brothers and sisters, so we are united. Thank you.
Prep Ham Paul, Minnesota is going to be the Islamic Mecca of the United States.
It will. You're going to regret voting these foreign people to your government. Their ideas are not yours. Their ways are not yours, and they hate white people. And you voted them in the United States of America. You look what the black Americans have done to the government. That's not bad enough for you? I guess you want more pain. Thank you.
Evgeny Crosby with a couple of diamonds. Sean is making amazing packets, and Jesse is beta.
What? No. Man. But Sean be telling me sometimes to take the calls, too.
Nice.
So he understands.
Rick Neely.
Thank you.
Rick Neely, 5 coffees. In the past couple years during the face diaper edicts, meaning the mask, China virus mask, my VA hospital refused to take care of me and had Gestapo-like employees kick me off federal ground and threaten to arrest for not wearing a face diaper, even though my VA doctor wrote a statement from me not face diaper due to service-connected lung disability. The government is evil. Veterans Day is a day for Facebook virtue signalers to try to look good.
Amazing. Thank you. That makes sense.
Chill and Lean bought a coffee. The immigration status of parents of a child born in the U.S. is not automatically changed. For example, if the parent did not have a green card prior to having the child, they will not automatically get a green card once they have the child. However, the child, as a U.S. citizen, may petition for their parents once the child turns 21. The process for getting this green card involves sponsorship through family-based immigration channels. Once the parent gets the green card, they have to wait another 5 years to apply for citizenship. To sum up, the term anchor baby is a misnomer. He's saying that the official government ways of getting your green card by way of having a baby here in America.
Crossing over the line there, having a baby.
He's saying that he claims that it's a misnomer because of all the hoops that you have to jump through and the time that you have to wait.
But you eventually become a citizen?
You can eventually become a citizen by way of having a baby here.
Oh, so you can?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Uh-huh.
Now.
But thank you, Chillin' Lean and Evil is Real.
Yeah, thank you, both.
Who also bought a coffee saying, JLP can call me vicious. I respond with, low IQ idiot that misrepresents the law, facts, and truth. Still have much love for you, Pookie.
And the same here. I can't argue with you about that in all honesty because, for the last umpteen years, I was told that the reason these women drop the babies on this side because the baby become a citizen, so they too. And that's all I've ever known about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the process was after that. But thank you.
And plus, these people in the government, they don't necessarily follow the law, as we all know.
Yeah.
But anyway, Evil is Still Real says, much love for you, Pookie. So much love. For my mama I slapped yesterday feels it in both her beautiful blue eyes. Well, he didn't say beautiful blue eyes. He said a different color eyes. And I feel like that's too vicious for me to read.
Thank you.
But thank you, Evil is Real. I R-worded.
Thank you, Evil is Real.
I graped his super chat. Someone bought a coffee. Jesse, do you agree that when you're in a fallen state, God is trying to reveal things to you, but the devil will cause you to doubt or forget or deny it?
Well, definitely God trying to give you little signs, warning signs you're about to destroy yourself, but most people don't listen to them, so yes, absolutely. But he still would just let you fall off the cliff. Absolutely. Thank you.
He continues, now as I am waking up, I look back and can see that God did reveal certain truths to me about life, but I wasn't convicted about it or convinced about it, whatever, because I was in a fallen state. What do you think? Thanks so much to you, and happy Veterans Day. You are a spiritual veteran.
You're absolutely right in that. And he does try to warn us, but we don't listen to the warning sign. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. So, yes, you're right. and stay on the path now. Don't let anyone or anything take you off that straight and narrow. And thank you. Happy Veteran to you.
Gen C, 20 coffees in honor of all my brothers and sisters in arms who have served the greatest nation on earth. No matter what reason we chose to serve, we are only about 10% of Americans who volunteered. Thank you from this USN Navy, Iraq war vet and retiree. Hoo-yah! American flag emoji, bird of freedom, bald eagle emoji.
Thank you. A happy VA to you as well.
Fascist Freddy on Odyssey. Jesse Lee, what do you think of George Lincoln Rockwell? Did you ever meet him? I don't know if you know who that is.
I have no idea.
He made the American Nazi Party.
I don't remember meeting him, and I have no idea who that is. Thank you.
Bubba on Odyssey.
Bubba!
Jesse, the whitest black man I know.
White on the inside, black on the outside. I have an Amerifro, not an afro, but a Amerifro. Thank you.
Zuzu CC on coffee. Jesse Bay, LOL, hard eyes emoji. How does your aunt eat again? Emoji. Like a cow chewing cud.
Like she enjoying that food.
Jesse is, for the audio podcast listeners, he was making a cow chewing cud face.
I have a friend of mine who eat like my aunt. Whenever I see him, I'm like, you remind me of my aunt. Open your mouth.
Emoji. And for your African wedding, how would you dance?
I would dance and I would shout. I would dance like David danced.
No, you did that thing like that. The African dance. You did you shook your...
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you did. The Africans dance like this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
I forget what you did.
Thank you.
And he won't do it right now, Sion. Take time for yourself this weekend and rest.
Thank you, I will. You too, Sion. Thank you.
33 coffees from Jay Morales, of course. Good morning, smiley face emoji. My close and personal friend Jib Jab bought a coffee. I have a biblical question for you, Jesse. You ready? Here it comes. Who let the dogs out?
Ooh. Hassan doll let the dogs out.
Thank you, Jib Jab, and thank you, Jay Morales. Generous donation.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Chama Craft bought 3 coffees, or Chama Craft, C-H-A-M-A. Y'all need Mo Whites over there to keep the radio station working right.
That's for sure.
$ tongue, $ eyes emoji.
White people know how to make things happen. Black people know how to watch things happen. Because they don't know how to make it happen. And then they destroy it. Oh, but thank you.
Thank you, Chama Craft, or Chama Craft over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Someone bought one. Jorge, hey, Jesse. No, I and Jesse. I find myself running to the Father again and again and again, doing the silent prayer. No matter what happens, no matter how hard it gets, I see my heart. He is my surgeon, and the Father is my only friend. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your wisdom. God bless and the team.
Thank you. You too. We got to stop there. I got to squeeze
That's all for now, I think.
Here. That's it?
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. Don't forget to podcast Joel Friday Show. Joel Friday TV. Let me go to Arthur out of Colorado. Arthur's gone. What the? I was trying to get to Arthur, too. What the? Let me go to Calandra out of Tennessee. Calandra, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello. Good morning, Jesse and Cruz.
Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
All is well.
All is well. Good. I was just calling to answer the biblical question today.
Okay. Let me just say this. Jessica Kerr. James. Is this Jessica Kerr?
Yeah.
Jessica Kerr bought 5 coffee. Happy Valentine's Day to all love. Happy Valentine. Happy Veterans Day to all. Love you, Jesse, and experts, and hope you all have a wonderful weekend. You too, Jessica Kerr. I appreciate it. Thank you. Go ahead, Calandra.
Oh, no, I was just saying, I just wanted to answer the biblical question.
Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother?
My mom and my grandmother.
They gave it to you?
Yeah, just watching them as as I was little, just seeing them how they lived and their anger and all that they had going on. That just gave me the impression of who they are.
And so, what was the impression you have of them? Or had?
Truly?
Yeah. No, tell me lies.
No.
Tell me sweet little lies.
What impression I had on them? I still love them, but I just didn't like them. I just didn't like them. I didn't want to be around them. Truly and honestly, I was always I didn't seriously. So I just didn't want to be around them.
That's amazing. Well, I appreciate that, Kalanda. I got to run because of time, but call me again, and I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday.
All right, and I'll be watching. Y'all have a good one.
You too. Thank you. Let me squeeze in, if I can, here. Frankie from Washington State. Frankie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Frankie.
So, I have a question for you because I've been doing the silent prayer day and night for about 3 weeks. And this past week, I feel like at night, like the demons are really like messing with me at night. Is there anything I should be doing differently?
Just stay with the silent prayer and watch. And watch what they're saying to you. Watch the emotion that's validating the thoughts, and just watch, and the light will work on your behalf. And know that it's not you. Go ahead.
Then I'm like dead. If I'm like dead asleep, they're like, I don't know. They're just like really, because my wife tells me like I'm like moving around all crazy.
And you're not.
But I'm asleep.
So you're not aware that you're moving around.
Right.
Oh, okay. You're just unconscious. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out. Just watch and stay with the prayer, and you'll get to the point where even when you're sleeping at night, you will be conscious instead of unconscious, and the devil has to flee from you. You'll be fine.
Okay. I have another question because I have a 16-year-old son. And like when I was younger, I was basically, big time like slut maker, and I just had a lot of fun when I was younger. I felt like I recently came back to Christianity, and it's like, oh man, I was wrong for doing all that.
What's your question? Real fast.
So the question is, what should I teach my 16-year-old boy? Should I just let him do what he's gonna do, or
tell him to forgive, that you and his mother should apologize, and he need to drop the anger. Other than that, he may have to go through his hell before he realizes so he can understand what's driving him. But I would tell him, apologize to him because he only doing it because he has anger, and anger awakening your sexual nature, and he's living in his head.
Okay.
All right. Call me on Monday if you have any other question, Frankie. I got to run.
Okay, thanks.
Okay?
Thanks. God bless. Bye.
All right. I am so out of time. Hopefully we can get everything done and fished up and ready for you on Monday with the sound bites and everything. The Hake Report is coming up now. Big Bump is with the Hake Report today. Big Bump in the house. And then the American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m., but at 12 noon, a brand new episode of The Father's Day. Get on the straight and narrow, folks. Stay there. If you stay there, you won't regret it. I promise you that. Overcome the intellect, though. Don't hang out with the intellect. The intellect is evil. All right? And have a good weekend. I'll see you on Sunday. Thank you for your financial support, everything, the super chats and all of that. Take care, folks. Stand up.
Something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. So I asked the question, are you better than a child molester? I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right, is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? When I realized it doesn't matter what you think about yourself, or how much you have or don't have, or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing. People tell me I have a lot of alpha energy. Jesse, what gives you so much alpha energy, they say? Is it energy drinks? No. Is it cigars? No. It's Alpha Jerky. Alpha Jerky from Big Club, USA. Alpha male, and you can have Alpha Jerky energy too. Amazing.
Thank you, JLP, Hassan.